Hello, and welcome to Crafting with Tops Digital. Today we're back at the Walking Dead card trader, and we're going to take a look at an ongoing series, Elite. This is a somewhat premium series where the packs are priced at 7,500, and you're going to get 5 cards per pack. The series consists of a 500 count Sapphire version, and those will be able to use to trade up and meld in the card exchange to higher rarity variants. The next up is the Ruby, which is limited to 100 count, and it's going to require 2 of the Sapphire. And then the top tier is the Emerald, which is a 25 card count, and that's going to require 2 Rubies, meaning also 4 Sapphires. So the interesting thing again with Walking Dead is that the card exchange themselves are limited in card count. So you could get the right number of entry level variants, in this case the Sapphire, and if you're not one of the first 100 people to meld into a Ruby, you could be locked out because the card count limit was hit. So that's something to be mindful of if you are chasing the top tier of the Emerald. So another nice thing with this set is, again, the typical fashion you have if you collect all of the same parallel, meaning all the Sapphire, you get a Sapphire award card. I believe there are 10 cards in this set. Excuse me, there are 11 cards in this set, and the 12th one is an award card. So if you get all 11 in Sapphire, you get the Sapphire card. All 11 in Ruby, you get the Ruby card. All 11 Emeralds, you get the award card in the Emerald variant. In addition to that, you have a daily competition. So for the 24-hour period, the first 24 hours that the card is released, if you get all 3 of those variants, Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald, you're rewarded with a gold version of that day's release. So, for example, yesterday, Abraham Ford was dropped. If you get the 3 different variants of Abraham, you get a gold Abraham card. And of course, by extension, if you get all the gold cards, which is a pretty significant chase, you get the gold card, the gold variant of the award card. And the award card hasn't been announced yet, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the card exchange. I was able to pull 2 different Sapphires and traded my Abraham for a T-Dog. So now I have 2 T-Dog Sapphire variants that we're going to go into the card exchange. So we're going to go to My Cards, pull down section. Last option is the card exchange. Right at the very top, you're going to see your opportunities to meld here. So we want to craft a Ruby version of T-Dog because those are the cards that we have. So as you can see here, the image is grayed out. I have the necessary cards. You see the check mark here, 2 out of 2 for the Sapphire. And we are going to go ahead. This is the only option, so you see that there's no other options for crafting this card. And again, because it's early on, we're only shredding lower tier variants to get the higher tier variants. Some of the other apps, you may need other additional requirements in terms of cards, resources, or materials or equipment. But we haven't gotten to that point with this app yet. But just heads up in case something comes down the pike. So let's go ahead and hit exchange. We see the garage door raises up to our new card. Now we have the Ruby version of T-Dog Elite. And if we flip this over, we can see we are the 29th version of this card. This was released this was the second Elite, the second most recent Elite. So yesterday was Abraham Ford. This was one prior to that. I believe they're going on about 24 hours. They're trying to keep to 24-hour schedules. And we can see you still have a little room if you want to hit that 100 tier. And I shouldn't say that because there are 29 of them, but that doesn't mean that there haven't been any shredded. Because if we go to the Emerald version, which is the top tier, that is going to require shredding Sapphires. And here you see the full color Ruby because we only have half of the requirements. See that progress bar, half of it is red, half of it is white. We go to the checklist version where you should see an empty box because we only have 1 out of the 2. There you go. The checkbox is empty. 1 out of 2. The exchange button is locked, and there's the only option to craft that emerald. So let's just take a look. See here, the emerald. It's taking a minute here to bring up the card count, but we'll bear with my connectivity problems. We can't pin this one on tops. And I haven't looked at this one before, so it's not cached. So it's bringing up the image for the other side of the card, the emerald variant, and it's going to hopefully let us know how many of these cards have been created already, because that's going to allow us to determine how many rubies are left. Like I said earlier, there's 29 card count on mine, but that doesn't mean that other previous rubies haven't been shredded. So as you can see, whoa, there, look at that. There's already 21 of the emerald, and we're limited to 25, so better get moving if you do want that emerald. So that means that 42 were shredded in order to get to these emerald cards, 42 sapphire. So if you add the 42 to the 29, you get 71. So you still have some room. You still have an opportunity to get the ruby and even to meld up to the sapphire. So that said, good luck avoiding the horde and chasing the cards that you want. See you next time. Thanks.